Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. LaRue Bratcher, black man in the state of Oklahoma, is proof that Whitey does not want us to protect ourselves. Okay, so people who followed the original Runaway Slave channel know that I covered this situation with this brother, LaRue Bratcher in Oklahoma. Now, who is LaRue Bratcher for those who don't know? LaRue Bratcher is a black man who lives in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He's a husband, a father, business owner, a U.S. Army veteran, okay? LaRue Bratcher's wife, her name is Vicky Bratcher. She served in the military as well. Him and his wife, Vicky, have 5 children. He's a young black entrepreneur. So in the year of 2018, Oklahoma legalized medicinal marijuana or medical marijuana. Now, that same year, LaRue established a business called Premium Smoke LLC, which is a marijuana grow shop located in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So this is what they're saying, okay? In November of 2019, the business license of Premium Smoke LLC expired. LaRue Bratcher was not able to renew the license that year after learning he would not be allowed to do so until he made almost $100,000 worth of renovations to the warehouse that housed the marijuana. So that's what happened with LaRue Bratcher's business. They took his business license because they said he had $100,000 worth of renovations to do this. You can't open the business. We're going to take your license. You got to get this fixed first. So in comes a guy by the name of Daniel Hardwick, white American man, 42 years of age. Now, this guy, Daniel Hardwick, is a career street thug. He comes from a household of irresponsible, violent parents. Even as far back as the year 2000, probably before that, he was committing crimes, being a menace to society. His mother did time in an Oklahoma State prison. He comes from a family of meth heads. Their house was one time raided, and him, his mom, his brother, and some other white people were arrested. That's where Daniel Hardwick comes from. So this is what happened between LaRue Bratcher and Daniel Hardwick. On May 26, 2020, at around 1 in the morning, LaRue Bratcher is at his business place, okay? He's in here doing some work, doing some things, getting things together. Daniel Hardwick attempted to break in through the back door. So LaRue Bratcher, he yelled and asked, "What are you doing?" Daniel Hardwick didn't respond. He continued to try to force his way in to this business, okay? So then LaRue Bratcher fired shots through the door at waist level to scare off this man, he said. He shot at waist level because he figured the man was standing up and it wouldn't hit his vital organs. However, Daniel Hardwick was crouched down by the door, when he was shot. So boom, didn't hit him in the waist, hit him in the head. So LaRue Bratcher goes, sees him responsive. He calls 911. He cooperates fully with the authorities. Authorities said, okay, for what you did, LaRue, we're going to arrest you and charge you with first-degree murder under Oklahoma's felony murder rule. Now you may be thinking, how are they going to charge him with first-degree murder when somebody was breaking into his place? Well, remember I said that in November 2019, the business license of Premium Smoke LLC, which is LaRue Bratcher's business, was not able to renew the license that year because he had $100,000 worth of renovations that needed to be done to his warehouse. Okay, so the state of Oklahoma is saying that being that LaRue Bratcher had a suspended license for his marijuana growing business at the time, he was committing a felony. When LaRue Bratcher called the police and he was arrested for operating this business without a proper permit, and 480 marijuana plants worth an estimated $1.5 million were confiscated from his marijuana grow shop, okay? They came and arrested him and they took 480 plants worth $1.5 million. In the state of Oklahoma, a person can be charged with murder in the first degree regardless of any evidence of malice if during the time that they took a life, they are engaged in any of one of the state's felony offenses. These offenses include forcible rape, robbery with a dangerous weapon, kidnapping. However, also included in that list are nonviolent drug offenses, including distribution, dispensing, trafficking, manufacturing, or even attempting to manufacture controlled substances. And this is where LaRue faced trouble. Now, LaRue Bratcher's business cultivates medicinal marijuana, and at the time of the shooting, again, his license to engage in such business had lapsed, meaning that at the time of the shooting, LaRue Bratcher was unlawfully manufacturing marijuana, so they say. Now, at the time of the shooting, right, the police did not charge LaRue Bratcher with murder. They only charged him with a non-violent drug offense. At the time of the shooting, that's all the police charged him with. But when they passed this along to this district attorney by the name of David Prater, a week after the shooting, he said no, he went nuts with it. So in June of 2020, he was arrested and charged with second-degree murder because that's what David Prater said. But LaRue, he refused to accept this plea deal. He said, nah, I can't take that. So when he refused to accept this deal, David Prater said, okay, we're going to upgrade this to first-degree murder now. So it was like, okay, you won't take this, we're going to hammer you now. Now this Oklahoma District Attorney, David Prater, who jumped all over this, found a legal loophole. He said, I'm going to go ahead and smoke this black man. Yeah, I'm giving him first-degree murder. So just like me, you may be thinking, well, this David Prater is a nasty, racist, white supremacist pig. Plenty of them in Oklahoma, okay? And this guy, David Prater, actually, his conduct while in office has been questioned, specifically as it relates to black people, or they say people of color. He's been questioned. He's been a suspected white supremacist way before this. In the year 2021, activists, including members of the NAACP, they sought a grand jury investigation into this guy, David Prater. They accused him of abusing his authority in matters as it related to a death row inmate by the name of Julius Jones. They accused this district attorney, David Prater, of deprivation of rights, interfering with witnesses, and abuse of power. There was another criminal case, and they accused David Prater of witness tampering, and they said they want this guy removed. Okay, we want him out of here. In these cases that they accuse him of, it relates to him dealing with black people. There was also a former investigator who also publicly accused David Prater of directing an improper investigation, which generated a lot of scrutiny and media attention. So he's known for this stuff when it comes to black people. Of course, he didn't get any trouble, but it is known that this guy is a sleazeball. So based off the details in this situation with the brother LaRue Bratcher, his attorney said, no, we're running with self-defense. We don't care. The Oklahoma Stand Your Ground law, a business owner can use self-defense in situations like the one LaRue was in and be protected, but not when the business is being used for unlawful activity. So y'all get it? This is what they're trying to hit him with. Because he has a lap license, the prosecution intends to argue that this business was used to further LaRue Bratcher's unlawful activity of cultivating marijuana. This is deep. So the prosecution not only intends to argue that this lapsed business license justifies the use of the felony murder rule, they're also using it to strip LaRue Bratcher of any self-defense claim. Now, here's my thing. The way I see this is the fact that LaRue Bratcher had a lapsed license to cultivate and sell medicinal marijuana does not change the fact that this guy was attempting to break in his business. That's unrelated. The presence of one shouldn't control the outcome of the other. You know what I mean? So they're really trying to box and lock this defense in, you know? And here's another thing. I get the law. I understand the lapsed license and all that. I get all that, etc., whatever. He's waiting to get his renovations done. He's working on that to get his license back. We know that. Here's something that we also know as black people. These inspectors that came out to see his place, We know in the state of Oklahoma, these were white people. And we know that these people will throw all kinds of okie doke in the game just because they see a black person trying to make money in this field. Okay? LaRue Bratcher probably only got through due to his military status. Just if LaRue Bratcher was a regular black man, he wouldn't have got this. They don't want black people to have this, especially in the state of Oklahoma. He used his military preference as a veteran to get this. You know that's how it went down, people. And it's no different than just say a black person is trying to open a food truck anywhere you live. These white supremacist inspectors, they're going to come out and they're going to be extra hard with you. They won't give you any breaks. They won't give you any valuable information because they don't have to. Just because you're black, they're going to be upset. That's what white Americans do. This is how they treat us, yo. This is always, so we know in a new field like medicinal marijuana, they definitely didn't want to see this black man coming up in this. He got in this due to his military preference. Without that, I guarantee you he wouldn't have got it, okay? So they were already pissed off. So this man, he's the owner of a shop. He has a warehouse. He's there. He's trying to, take care of his crop. It's not like he's selling furniture. He can't just, I'm going to leave the furniture here and wait until it's done, until I get the license. No, he has to go in and make sure that all his crop is good. Everything that he's doing is good. That's like telling a man who owns a farm, okay, we're taking your farm license. You can't go milk and feed the cows anymore and make sure they're alive and all right, for when you get your license back. How stupid is that? These are the things that they would definitely understand if LaRue Bratcher was a white man. If he was the white man that he shot and killed, it'd be like that. When it comes to black people, the white community, they like to look at things like, it's just black and white. It's just this and this, even if it makes no sense. But when white people are involved, then, here comes the clauses. We're going to jump through this. We can do this. We can change. We know this. This is what they do everywhere, man. We know this. This is what white supremacists do, and this is what they say to justify things. And also, these buck dancing, sellout, bojangling, disgusting coons, you repeat them too as well. They repeat what these people say. So LaRue Bratcher, he has to keep his crop alive and going as he gets these renovations together. So he's not supposed to defend his business when this thug is trying to break in and steal what he worked hard for. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I'm reading something from an article that they have. They said that there will be those who argue that Mr. Bratcher's conduct was criminal and unreasonable. There will be those who argue it was a justified case of self-defense. But regardless of where people stand on this case as a whole, the fact remains that Mr. Bratcher is being overly charged and unfairly limited in his self-defense due to circumstances that should have no bearing on these proceedings. I agree. So basically they're saying, LaRue Bratcher, you're a drug dealer. And being that you're a drug dealer, it's illegal to sell drugs. You can't claim self-defense because you were doing something illegal. And there is no stand your ground or castle doctrine or whatever for people who are selling drugs illegal. Something else about this case, okay? While these white people in Oklahoma are trying to put this black man through the ringer, he's not with his wife, he's not with his children, all that nonsense. He doesn't have the ability to earn. So while he's in jail, the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority updated their policy to allow cardholders to apply for a new license while still using their expired one until the new one comes in the mail. So he was just working on fixing some things and getting it together, getting a new license. They were working on fixing some things in this new industry because they know that these things will happen. In addition, this trial kept getting postponed. Now here's the outcome, people. It ended favorably for the brother LaRue Bratcher. What happened was in February 2023, the new Oklahoma County District Attorney came in. When they came in, dismissed the murder charge, and he took an Alfred plea agreement, okay? He maintained his innocence regarding these criminal allegations, and he was placed on 10 years of probation. So big shout out to that brother LaRue Bratcher. I hope he's doing okay now, him and his family, easy.